In this problem, find the heat lost after switch is turned to part 2. Here, this is a key and the switch is initially in contact to point 1 and if it is connected to point 2, it is turned to part 2. Then what about the heat lost here? We can solve this problem by using conservation of energy, that is work done by battery plus work done by external source is equal to change in energy stored in the capacitor plus heat lost. We need to find out this one. So before that I need to find out what is the work done by the battery, what is the work done by the external source, and what is the change in energy. Now in this problem, first when one is in contact with this one, that means if the switch is in contact with point 1 and this is a open circuit, no charge or no current flows into this one. So this initially the circuit can be drawn like this. This is the capacitor of capacitance C and this is the battery. So this is E1 and it is given that E1 is greater than E2. EMF of the first cell is greater than the second cell. But second cell is not required initially. Now in this, what is the energy stored here? The energy stored in this one is given by, initially energy stored in this one is given by half C. This is E1 square. This is initial energy. Now what is the charge that is entering into this one? The charge Q1 is equal to, we know that Q is equal to CV, that is C into E1. So this is initially when the key is in contact with 1. Now, then when switch is turned to part 2, then this diagram can be drawn like this. This is the capacitor now and it is connected to part 2 and these are the cells that are connected here. This is E1, this is E2. We know that it is given in the problem that E1 is greater than E2. So what is the net EMF of this combination? Positive connected to positive. So net EMF will be E1 minus E2. Now what is the charge in this case? The charge flowing through this circuit is given by capacitance into total EMF, that is C into E1 minus E2, which is given by CE1 minus CE2. So this is the charge that is flowing into this one. Now, what is the energy stored now? The energy stored in this case is given by half into capacity square of the potential, that is E1 minus E2 whole square. Now you can see the initial charge is given by CE1. The final charge is CE1 minus CE2. That means let us say this is 10 coulombs, this is only 7 or 6 coulombs. Why? Because CE1 minus something here. So the final charge is less than the initial charge. So the initial charge is greater than the final charge. So here I am writing initial. So what is the meaning of this one? If the final charge is more than initial charge, battery will supply charge to this one. If the final charge is less than initial charge, charge is coming from the battery to this one. So battery is not doing work. The capacitor is doing work on the battery. So but here this is the work done by the battery. But here if the battery is doing work, charge will flow from battery to capacitor. If capacitor is sending charge to the battery, so work done by the battery will be negative. So now what is the work done by the battery? Work done is equal to potential into charge. So in this case I am going to substitute here. This work done is negative. Please remember here work done by the battery is negative since charge is flowing from capacitor to battery. What is the work done by the battery? Already I told you this is negative. So work done is the potential difference into charge flowing. Here charge is not flowing from the battery to the capacitor. Instead, charge is flowing from the capacitor to the battery. What is the charge that is flowing here? Initial charge was CE1. Now the charge is CE1 minus CE2. That means it has CE1 and it is sending CE2 charge to the battery. So what is the total charge? So from this CE1, this charge is flowing through this is the flown charge. So what this is the extra charge that is entering into the battery. So work done by the battery is a negative of the potential difference is E1 minus E2 into the charge flowing CE2 plus the external work done is 0. Why? Because we are not decreasing or increasing the space between this one. We are not inserting any dielectric medium here. So externally we are not doing any work. This is equal to change in energy, that is final energy minus initial energy. So this is the final energy and this is the initial energy. So I am going to write half C E1 minus E2 whole square minus half C E1 square plus that extra heat that is produced that we are finding here, heat lost. Now by simplify this one, we will get the H value here, the energy, the charge stored is C1. Now this you can write minus CE2 into E1, CE1 E2 minus CE2 square plus 0 is equal, you can take half C common here, half C, this is A minus B whole square, you can write E1 square plus E2 square minus 2 E1 E2. So this is E1 square plus E2 square minus 2 E1 E2 minus E1 square plus H. You can cancel this and this. Now you can write this as minus C E1 E2 plus C E2 square is equal. You can write this as half C minus 2 E1 E2 plus E2 square. Now minus C E1 E2 plus C E2 square is equal. 2 get cancelled. This will come minus C E1 E2 half C E2 square. You can cancel minus C E1 E2 minus C1 E2 plus here H is there. We are finding that H value only. So H will be given as C E2 square minus half C E2 square. So H is equal to half C E2 square. This is the heat energy produced when the switch is turned to part 2. Find the maximum voltage that can be applied so that both work properly. So what should be the maximum voltage that can be applied here? Here individually, this first capacitor of 4 microfarad will break down at a voltage of 10 kilovolts. It means it can work properly up to 10 kilovolts. If the voltage is greater than that, it will be spoiled, it will be destroyed. Similarly for this one, second capacitor 6 microfarad, the breakdown voltage is 12 kilovolts. Now if these two are connected in series, then what should be the maximum voltage? Here, before connecting, for first capacitor C1 is equal to 4 microfarad, voltage is equal to 10 into 10 power 3 volts. So what is the charge that can be given to the first capacitor individually without connection? So Q is equal to C1 V1. So 4 into 10, 40, this is 10 power minus 6. So this will become 10 power minus 3 coulombs. So this is the charge that can be passed through the first capacitor without breaking this one. Similarly, for second capacitor C2 is equal to 6 into 10 power minus 6 and the voltage is 12 into 10 power 3 volts and the charge will be C2 V2 12 6 are 72 into 10 power minus 3 coulombs. So we can send 72 millicoulombs through the second one and 40 millicoulombs through the first one. Now after connecting in series, so as these two are connected in series, the effective capacitance is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2, that is 4 into 6 by 4 plus 6, 24 by 10, 2.4 microfarads or 2.6 farads. Now, this is the total capacitance of this combination after connection. Previously 4 and 6. Now, after connection, this will be 2.4 only. But what is the charge that can be given to this one here? Instead of this, I am going to write only this is 2.4 microfarad. Now, if you give this much charge, what happens? This charge can pass through the second capacitor, but the first capacitor can hold only this much charge, 40 millicoulombs. This is 72 millicoulombs. So we cannot give this amount of charge. Why? Because only second capacitor can bear this charge. First capacitor can bear up to this value only. So now also we can give a maximum charge of 40 millicoulombs only. So to give this 40 millicoulombs, what must be the voltage source? Voltage of this source. Now we can write Q is equal to V is equal to Q by C. The maximum amount of charge that can be given to this circuit is equal to 40 millicoulombs by C is 2.4 into 10 power minus 6. When it goes up 10 power plus 6. So 40 by 2.4 into 10 power 6 minus 3. So this is 400 by 24 into 10 power 3. Now you can cancel 4 hundreds, 2 3s, 2 50s. So this is 50 by 3 into 10 power 3 volts. 50 by 3 kilovolts. So this is the maximum voltage that can be given. 50 by 3 means nearly 16.66 kilovolts. Previously, this can hold 10 kilovolts, this can hold 12 kilovolts, but you can give 16 kilovolts now. But condition is this amount of charge must flow through the circuit. Find the capacitance between X and Y in these diagrams. So this is effective capacitance. When these type of problems are given, remember these are the plates here. This is the first plate and this is the second plate and this is the third plate. So all these plates are having equal area and the spacing between these two is maintained at a constant value. This is the distance between these two plates is D and area of each plate is A. Now whenever it is these type of problems are given, so first you just assume that X is connected to positive terminal of the battery, Y is connected to negative terminal of the battery. Then first plate, here I will take this as 1, plate 2, plate 3. The first plate, as it is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, will get a positive charge. So this is a positive charge. This plate will get positive charge here. Similarly, third plate is also connected to positive terminal. This plate will also get a positive charge. But second plate is connected to the negative plate here. So this will get a negative charge on both sides. Condition is, in any of these diagrams, the total positive plates must be equal to total number of negative plates. Here you can see this diagram. We have one positive plate here, one more positive plate here, and we have two negative plates here. Actually we have only one negative plate, but on both sides you get negative charge. What about the charge here? No charge will be induced on outer surfaces. Remember this point. In any of the diagrams, no charge will be induced on the outer surfaces. So in this diagram we have two positive charges plated, two negative charged plates. Now let me draw the corresponding diagram. How to draw this one? So first let me draw the battery here. This is positive terminal and negative terminal. The positive terminal is connected to plate 1. The positive terminal is connected to plate 1. This is plate 1. I am showing like this. This is first plate. So this is positive plate. So I will write positive charge here. Then the positive and negative plates which are separated by some distance opposite to each other will always produce a capacitor. So this is the electric field between these two. So this will act as a capacitor. Combination of plate 1, plate 2 will act as a capacitor. So this is positive plate and this is the negative plate, and the negative plate is denoted with the letter 2 and it is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So first capacitor is over. Now second capacitor. The negative plate and positive plate here will also act as one more capacitor. So in this diagram we have two capacitors and three connected to X only. So from X, so I am writing this as X, this as Y. Now once again, from X we have one more plate, from X we have one more plate. This is a third plate which is positively charged here, and this is the second plate. 1 2 3 4 5, it is connected like this. So here second plate is common for both capacitors. Second plate is common for first capacitor as well as second capacitor. So here from Y I am showing this as second plate, this as second plate. Remember, while you are writing this 2 here, the second plate should have two negative charges. That means it should have charges on both sides. Now it is okay. So what is the capacitance of the capacitor? Area of each plate is A, distance between these two is D, and medium is air. So capacity of this one is equal to epsilon naught A by D. Capacity of this one is also epsilon naught A by D. These two connected in parallel. So the effective capacitance is given by, this is C1 and C2. C1 plus C2, which is equal to epsilon naught A by D plus epsilon naught A by D. This is 2 epsilon naught A by D. This is the effective capacitor for the first diagram. Similarly, we can follow for the second, third, fourth diagrams also. Here, first of all, to solve this problem, you keep the numbers first. This is first plate, second plate, third plate, fourth plate. First plate, always you consider left side positive, right side negative. No need to draw the battery here, as it is positive. So this plate only inside will get positive charge. This plate also will get positive charge here. Then what about this one? As it is connected to negative terminal, this will get a negative charge and this will get negative charge. Remember, here these are the outer surfaces. This is the outer surface, this is the outer surface, these two are outer surfaces. No charges will be induced there. So now we have only two capacitors. So how to draw this diagram here? Now as it is, I am going to draw. From X, first plate is connected. This is plate 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And plate 2 connected to terminal Y. So this is Y, this is X. So this is a negative terminal, this is plate 2. Now plate 3 and plate 4 also connected here. First let me draw the battery here. This is the battery. Now 3 and 4 will also make one more capacitor. Remember, here positive negative consists a capacitor, positive negative consists a capacitor. These two are not charged, so capacitor will not be formed between these second and third plate. Now here from X only we have one more plate which is fourth plate. This is 4, this is third plate. Here also these two connected in parallel, so effective capacitance will become 2 epsilon naught A by D only. Now see the third diagram. Here this is a positive terminal. Let me take this as a negative terminal. So positive terminal will give positive charge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As it is as this plate is between two other plates, it will get two negative charges. So how many positive charges are there? 1, 2, only 2. But now this is 1, 2, 3. What about the charge on this plate here? This plate, as it is a negative charge, positive charge will be induced here. Remember, this plate is not connected to positive terminal or negative terminal, and this will get, this is actually neutral plate only. Neutral plate only. Because total charge on this plate is 0. Okay, but here total charge on this plate is not 0. This is minus 2q. But here neutral plate. Why? Because it is not connected either to the negative terminal or to the positive terminal. As it is negative, so it will induce positive charge onto this plate. Now you please count the number of positive plates and number of negative plates. That is very, very important in these problems. Now positive plates first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 4 positive plates. And how many negative plates are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 negative plates. If these two are equal in number, then you can go for that one. Otherwise, you please check this diagram once again. So we have 4 positive charges plate and 4 negative charge plates. And now I am going to draw the battery here. First, this is the battery. This is terminal X. This is terminal Y. Now, from battery X terminal, so first I need to draw lines here. That means numbers here. I need to give the number to this plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 plates. First, X is connected to directly 3. X directly connected to third plate. This is third plate and it is positively charged plate. And then this X is in contact with, means this will consists a capacitor with the fourth plate which is negatively charged. So this is the fourth plate here. This is fourth plate which is negatively charged. Now this fourth plate is connected directly to terminal Y. So I am connecting this directly to the terminal Y. So one capacitor is over. This capacitor is over. Between 3 and 4, one capacitor is over. Next, between 5 and 4 also, positive and negative combination is there. It will also act as a capacitor. So 5 connected to X. From X we are connecting one capacitor whose plate number is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And second one, fourth one connected to Y. So from Y I am connecting a fourth one. This is fourth plate. So this fourth plate is common for these two capacitors. So for these two capacitors, fourth plate is common, and in both cases this is negatively charged plate only. Now these two are over. Now 2 more capacitors are there. This is one capacitor positive and negative, and this is positive and negative. So how to draw this one? To draw this one, first of all, from Y is first plate is connected, and 2 plate. Now I will write this one. From Y we have a plate, from Y terminal we have a plate, that is plate number 1, which is negatively charged. Then it is in combination with the second plate. This is the second plate, and the face which is facing this one is positively charged, because second plate has both positive charge and negative charge. But opposite we have positive charge. And the same second capacitor, second plate is in combination with the third plate, and third is connected to X. From X you connect to third plate. This is third plate, and the third plate here is positively charged, and it is in combination of second plate. And for third one, second one is negative. So this second one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is negative. Remember, plate number 2 is connected directly. It is neither connected to X nor connected to Y. What is the total charge on these 2 plates? This is positive and negative 0. That's why it is neutral. So this is how you can draw the diagram now. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 capacitors in this one. Now how to write this one? What is the capacitance of this one? As area is A, distance between these two is D. This is epsilon naught A by D. This is also epsilon naught A by D. This is also epsilon naught A by D. This is also epsilon naught A by D. So this is capacitance C, this is capacitance C. This is C, this is C. So now you can draw this one as, this is C, this is also C. These two are capacitors C and C. This is V. So this is C, C, this is C by 2, as these two are connected in series. C into C by C plus 2 is C by 2, and all these three connected in parallel. So C effective is given by C plus C plus C by 2. This is C plus C, 2C and a half, 2 and a half, that is 5 by 2C, or 5 by 2 epsilon naught A by D, because each plate has an area A and the distance between these two plates is D. Next, last one, you can see this diagram. This is X and Y. These are the 3 capacitors. This is C, this is C, this is C. In this diagram also, first of all, we need to consider these points first. So this is also point method or node method. Here I am going to redraw the diagram once again here, and then I will keep the points or nodes, that junctions 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So here to draw this one, what I am going to do, so I am going to draw the same diagram here. This is the first capacitor, this is the second capacitor, this is the third capacitor, and this is Y, this is X. And here it is connected between these two, a direct wire, and this is another wire. So first I will take this node or junction as 1, this as 2, this as 3, this as 4, like this. Now, in the question paper itself, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4 if it is a printed PDF or offline paper. Online, we have to draw this on our rough paper, and then you can write this as, we know that between these two we are going to connect one battery of potential V. Now, from X, I am going to draw, this is X, this is 0.1, and this is 0.2. And you can see directly from 0.2 there is a wire going and going to Y. So from 0.2 this is Y. So this is the first part. Now I will draw the capacitor between 1 and 2. This is C. So between 1 and 2 we are going to draw one capacitor, which is the first capacitor C. Now next, between 2 and 3 we have one more capacitor. This is 2, but where is 3? Remember students, 3 is directly connected to 1 here. That means both 1 and 3 are same. So this is 1, this is also 3. So between 2 and 3 we have one more capacitor here. So this is capacitor 2 or second capacitor C. This is also C. Now, between 3 and 4 we have one more capacitor. Between 3, this is 0.3, but where is 4? 4 directly connected to 2 also. So this is 0.2, this is 0.4. So between 3 and 4 we have one more capacitor, and from 4 we are going to Y. See, this is the actual diagram given, and after writing the numbers or nodes we got this one, and you can see these three are connected in parallel. So C parallel is equal to C plus C plus C, answer 3C. Here two more problems. Find the effective capacitance between X and Y only. Here also I am going to write, this is plate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is N, this is N minus 1 and N minus 2 here like this. So many plates, N plates are arranged such that alternative plates are connected to positive terminals and middle plates are connected to the negative terminal. So alternately positive and negative. This is positive plate, this is a negative, this is positive, this is a negative, this is positive, this is a negative, and like this. And finally this is positive, this is a negative plate. Now, when plates are connected like this, what happens? Just now we solved some problems. So this is a capacitor of capacitance is C. So this is capacitance is C. This is one more capacitor C. This is another capacitor C. So each and every combination will act as a capacitor, and finally this is the last capacitor, and this is the last but one capacitor. But how to connect these capacitors in this one, whether they are connected in series or parallel, if you know, then we can write the exact expression for this one. The X is connected to the first plate, X is connected to the first plate, this is plate 1, and Y is connected to the second plate. Similarly, third plate connected to X. So from X we are connecting the third plate, and here the third and second is a combination. So this is the second plate and it is connected to Y. Then fifth plate connected here, sorry, this one is over, 2, 3 is over, now 3 and 4. So this is 3 common and this is 4, one more capacitor here. Then this will be 4 and 5 is also one combination. This is 5, this is 4, 4 is common. And then this is 5, this is 6. So like this if you continue, and you will get this is N minus 1 capacitor, N minus 1th plate, this is nth plate. So all these capacitors are connected in parallel. So the effective capacitance of this combination is C1 plus C2 and so on, Cn. How many plates are there? Suppose if you take only 4 plates, If you take only first 5 plates here, plate 1, 2, 3, 4, only if you take 5 plates, how many capacitors are there for 5 plates? First capacitor, second, third, fourth. So for 5 plates, we have 4 capacitors. Suppose if you take only 3 plates, 1, 2, 3, we have only 3 capacitors. For 3 plates, we have 2 capacitors. For n plates, we will have n minus 1 capacitors. We have n plates, so in between we have n minus 1 capacitors. So here, capacitance of each plate is epsilon naught A by D. This is also epsilon naught A by D, and so on epsilon naught A by D. As we know that n plates will combine to give n minus 1 capacitor. These will be n minus 1 terms. So this will become n minus 1 epsilon naught A by D. This is C effective. So this is C effective, which is equal to n minus 1 epsilon naught A by D. So this is the effective capacitance of this combination. Please remember, if there are n capacitor and alternative plates are connected to positive or negative terminals, the expression to find out the effective capacitance is n minus 1 epsilon naught A by D. Now see this diagram. This is another diagram. Capacitors are connected like this. C like this. This is called a ladder circuit. This is up to infinite. So this is called a ladder capacitor circuit. So in this type of circuits, so what to do, how to solve these problems? So to solve this one, first of all, we should know, for a huge quantity, if you add a small element or if you subtract a small element, the magnitude almost remains same. That is the point that we are using here. For a huge quantity, magnitude, this is a huge quantity. For this, if you add one more particle or even if you remove one more particle, the magnitude almost remains the same. Here also, this is a huge circuit, ladder circuit. So what I am going to do, first circuit, first part is this one C, second part is this. So this is a single part. So this is just like a chain. You can see, if you remove this one, the remaining term, the remaining circuit remains as it is. C. So these are all the links. This is the second link, third link, fourth link, fifth link, just like a chain. These are all the links. Here, this is the first part, and the remaining part is a given diagram only. Let us say the effective capacitance of this combination is X. So this is the given circuit whose effective capacity is X. So for this I am going to add one more. So these are the two terminals here. So this is X. I think you understand this concept. Here actual diagram is this one, and the effective capacitance of this one is X capacitance, X farads. So this is X. For this I am going to add one more here. So for a huge one, if we add one more part or one more link, there won't be any difference. That's why for this I am just adding one more here. Now you see this diagram. The effective capacitance of this one also now X only. Why? Because for X I am adding a single link. By adding a single link to a big magnitude, the total magnitude remains as X only. Now you can see these two are parallel. So effective capacitance of this one is C plus X. Now you can write this as, this is C, this is C plus X, this is X and Y. Now these two are in series. So what is the effective capacitance of these two as series? C into C plus X by C plus X. So this is the effective capacitance, that is C1, C2 plus C1 plus C2, which is also equal to X only because the magnitude remains as it is. Now cross multiply these two, you will get C into C, C square, C into X, this is Cx, which is equal to C into X, this is Cx, plus C into X, this is also Cx, plus X into X, this is X square. The Cx get cancelled. This you can write X square plus Cx minus C square is equal to 0. This is in the form of Ax square plus Bx plus C. So how to find the X value? We have this formula, X is equal to minus B plus or minus root over B square minus 4AC by 2A. So here A is equal to 1, B is equal to C, and C is equal to minus C square. So I want this x value which is equal to minus B, that is minus of C, plus or minus root over B square minus 4AC, B is equal to C, B square minus C square minus 4AC by 2 into 1, 2. So x value will be minus C plus or minus root over, this is C square plus minus of minus plus 4C square plus 5C square by 2. So this is equal to root 5C. So minus C plus or minus root 5C by 2. So x value will be, if you take C common, root 5 minus 1 by 2. I am taking only the positive value here. I am neglecting this negative value. So this is the effective capacitance of this ladder circuit, very very important for competitive exams. Force on a dielectric slab. This is a capacitor with a positive charge on this one, and this is the negative plate on the other side here. We know that electric field always acts between positive and negative plates here. So this is the direction of the electric field here between the positive and negative plates. But we know that at the ends the field is not uniform, and this is called a fringing field. Similarly here also this is the electric field within this one, but here fringing field will be produced here. So this is the fringing field. Now due to this, what happens, as the this is red color one is the dielectric constant K. So now here the positive charge will induce a negative charge on this one, and negative charge will induce a positive charge on this one. We know that the positive charge always moves in the direction of the field. So this positive charge, positive end of the dielectric will be attracted, or this positive charge induced will try to move in this direction. This is the force due to the induced charge on the dielectric. Similarly here negative charge will not move in the direction of the field, it will try to move in the opposite direction. This is the direction of the negative charge induced on the dielectric. So due to this and this, the dielectric will experience a force. The resultant of these two is given by, this is the direction of the force, and this we call it as electric force. As we are holding this inserting, we are trying to insert this dielectric inside this one, and we are keeping like this. If you release it, it will move into the direction in the capacitor, but we are holding it, so we are applying some force. This is the external force that we are using to keep this dielectric in this position. So whenever a dielectric is placed like this, it will experience a force towards the or inside the capacitor. So towards as well as inside the capacitor due to fringing field. This is due to fringing field. Now, so in this case, what we can write, what are the total energy here? From the law of conservation of energy we can write W battery plus W external is equal to change in energy of the capacitor plus change in heat energy. Now you can see the length of this plate, let me take it as L, this is L, and width of this plate is, let us say, B. So what is the area of this plate? L into B, first plate, second plate, let's say L into B. But here in this, the dielectric inserted within the capacitor through a length or distance x. So now you can see there are two capacitors in this one, and here battery is connected here. This is a battery which is connected here. This is positive terminal, this is negative terminal. So battery is connected between these two plates. Now there are two capacitors here. One is this is the space which is filled with air, and this is the space which is filled with up to here dielectric. So let the capacitance of this combination, this place is C1, this is C1, and this is C2. So what is C1? C1 is the capacitance between two plates which is filled with air. So this will be epsilon naught area of this plate. This is length L from here to here L, but I need only this length. This will be L minus X, and width of this plate is B. So this is the area of the capacitor between two plates by the distance between these two plates. Let me take it as D. This is D. This is C1. What about the capacitance of the second plate? That is C2. This is K epsilon naught. Width of this one is X. Length is X. Width is B. So this is B into X, and distance between these two is D only. But we know that as the battery is connected here, charge will flow through this one, and as well as this one, charge is dividing. So these two are said to be connected in parallel. So the effective capacitance of this combination is given by C1 plus C2. So C effective is equal, you can take epsilon naught BD common, epsilon naught BD common, epsilon naught B by D common, remaining L minus X plus KX. So this can also be written as C effective is equal to epsilon naught B by D. This is L minus X plus KX. You can take L common, K minus 1 into X. So this is the effective capacity of this combination. What is the work done by the battery? Here in this case, the plates are connected to a battery of potential V. Whenever we insert an electric here, we know that potential decreases by a small amount. As the potential decreases, the battery will supply the required amount of charge to the plates so that the potential between these two remains constant to V only. So if you insert more dielectric, more plate here, more dielectric medium, and the change in potential will be more, and it will give more charge to this one. Let us say by inserting this one, the potential decreases by dV, and the charge that is given to the battery, let us say DC. So what is the work done by the battery? Potential into the charge. The potential is V, which is constant, and the amount of charge given, this is dQ, not DC, charge given dQ, plus what is the external force or work done by the external force? Here I am trying to insert this one by a small distance dx by applying this force. So here force, external force is acting in this direction, but this dielectric medium is moving in the opposite direction. So both are opposite. So F into minus Tx is equal. What is the change in energy? That is half into change in capacity into V square plus H is equal to 0. Heat produced is 0 here as potential remains constant. Now you can write V into dQ is equal to C is equal to Q by V, or dQ is equal to V into DC. Q is equal to V into DC or DC into Q, minus F into dx is equal half DC V square. You can see this one DC V square. This is the DC into V square. The DC is the change in capacity into V square. If you bring this one this side, this is half DC into V square is equal F into dx. This is DC V square minus half DC V square, remaining half DC into V square is equal to F into dx. I need to find out the external force required, force acting on the dielectric slab. I want this F value. So I am going to write this as F is equal to half into DC V square by dx. So this is the force experienced by the dielectric slab within this one. So to find out this F, half V square common d by dx of C. So that is the effective capacitance of this one. This is the effective capacitance. So I am going to substitute this one. So how this capacitance changes with the distance x, so that we are finding here L plus K minus 1 into x. So I need to differentiate this one. Half is constant. As the battery is connected, potential is also constant. So now I can write this as F is equal to half V square and the differentiation of epsilon naught B. So F will become half into V square. So where you are differentiating this one, epsilon is constant, B is the width of the plate and D is the distance between two plates. This is also constant. So bring it outside. Epsilon naught B by D. Now differentiate these terms. L is the length of the plate, which is also constant. Derivative of L with respect to x is 0. So I can write 0 plus K is a dielectric constant minus 1. So bring it outside once again. K minus 1. Derivative of x with respect to x is equal to 1. So this is 1. So the force experienced by the dielectric slab is given by epsilon naught B V square by 2D into K minus 1. This is the force experienced by the dielectric slab. In this case, suppose if the battery is disconnected here, then what happens? Whatever the charge that is given to this capacitor remains constant. So Q is constant. Then as the battery is disconnected, work done by the battery will become 0 here. This will become 0. And what is the change in energy of this one? Because no extra charge is given by the battery now. So the change in energy is given by as no charge is given, so this will become Q square by 2C. So this is the change in energy. So what is this Q square by 2C value? We know that the charge given to this one initially on this capacitor was Q, and 2C is the effective capacitance of this combination, epsilon naught B by L plus K minus 1 into X. Now you can write, we need F. So F into minus Tx is equal to, this is du. So force is equal to minus du by dx. So F is equal to minus d by dx of what is the energy stored? That is Q square by 2C. So Q square by 2. What is the effective capacitance of this combination with this diagram? This will become epsilon naught B by D into L plus K minus 1 into X. As Q is constant, Q square is also constant. This D will go up there. This is become Q square by D. So the force is given by, bring the constants outside. Q square is a constant, distance between two plates constant, 2 epsilon naught B is a constant, and we need to differentiate only the term 1 by L plus K minus 1 into X. Now this is a U by V form. So we can write this as F is equal to Q square by D 2 epsilon naught B, U by V, V into derivative of 1 is 0 because 1 is a constant, minus V 1 into derivative of this L. L is a constant 0. This is K minus 1. This is K minus 1 by V square, that is L plus K minus 1 into X whole square. So the force here, actually we are differentiating this with the minus here. So we have a minus sign here, and you can see this term will become 0. Minus of minus will become plus. So this will become Q square D into K minus 1 by 2 epsilon naught B L plus K minus 1 into X whole square. This is the force when the battery is disconnected.